Hey guys, Mag7 here and welcome to Overmind. Today I'm going to be looking at some other content creators' videos, specifically ones that show YouTube personalities responding to teammates who are not exactly acting favourably. Before we start, I just want to say that I'm not looking to pick a fight or infringe on copyright or anything like that. This is a very hidden channel and I don't run any advertisement. Also, I've put links to these videos in the description. If any of the original authors actually make their way here, welcome, good to have you on board. Anyway, let's get into it. This first video is one in a long series from Lieutenant Eddy. He seems to be more of a jovial personality on camera. In this game, he's in Master League, so let's get into it.
Fuck my pussy!
Oh. Alright, you're just getting the mute right away.
So this one's pretty plain and simple. Don't tell anybody if you're muting them. It's going to tilt them out. You got to remember that even if people are toxic on your team, they are not your enemy. In fact, they are your ally. You've just got to get them turned around. Alright, let's move on.
Oh my god, I don't understand. Anna, why you don't ult Genji? Genji has fucking ult.
I didn't have ult.
He didn't have ult, man.
I didn't have ult.
Anna, I don't understand why you ult the Roadhog.
Okay, this is an interesting interaction here. It's important to note that this person who is tilting out is, or at least doesn't seem to be, native in the same language as the other people in this team. So that is really important. If that is the case, you've got to realize that they're not going to have an understanding of sarcasm to the same extent that you do in your language. They're not going to pick up on colloquialisms, euphemisms, those types of things anywhere near as easily. You've got to keep that in mind, so try and keep your speech very clean of stuff like metaphors and whatnot, because they're more than likely going to take them literally. That's just from my experience, and it's not true for everybody, but it is important to note.
I just said he didn't have ult.
I did not have ult.
Genji has ult.
Well, he did afterwards, yeah. That's alright, my man. It's 2-2.
Okay, so this response is actually quite good. If somebody is like, oh, why didn't you do this? Oftentimes you can remedy the situation by saying, you know, they didn't have it or whatever, as long as it's true, obviously. And you find a lot of the time that does work, and people are reasonable when they realize they're in the wrong, and they usually just go quiet for a bit. In this case, whether it's due to intrinsic rage or language barrier or something like that, this guy persists in what he's saying. And so then begins the battle of wrangling him off this high horse of injustice, right? He feels like he's been wrong because his team was so bad. Anyway, let's keep watching.
If you can, don't fucking ult tank forever, okay?
I kind of just.
Even you can fucking ult to the McLaren, why you go ult to the fucking Roadhog?
Seven. We got this, alright? We got this. It's all good. He made a mistake, okay?
He's having to think about what he's doing. You know, there's a bit of a recourse here. If you watch the original video, and I encourage you to do it, you know, you can see he just pauses for a bit. And he hits a dead wall when she says that. So good job here, those are the right words. Just encourage them, just like, you know, yes, it's been bad, but we can work together as a team and we can pull through it. Using that language to just calm people down, that's good. What you're about to see up ahead is the exact opposite of that. So let's keep going.
You guys made a mistake every round.
You'll be fine.
Whoa. Calm down, man. Calm down, okay? Salt is how you get to losing.
Hey,
We
we're
don't
gonna win this. We're going to win this. If we get toxic, we're gonna lose. We got this. We got this.
We got this.
Thank you.
You can see here that the green text voice, who is Essel, he says totally the wrong thing. You never tell anybody to calm down, because as soon as they get told to calm down, I'm pretty sure you guys know this from being told to calm down yourself. You don't calm down. You instantly go on the exact reverse. You go, you telling me to be calm? I'll cut your throat, you scumbag. You know, you go off the chain, right? It's not what you have to say. It's not what you should say. And then he says something like, you know, salt is how you get to losing. Saying something like that, it's not the best. Generally, I never refer to things like salt and toxicity because they have a lot of connotations associated with them from, you know, League of Legends and community discussion and that type of thing in videos, that I don't really want to make it sound like I'm victimizing us and saying he's the bad guy. Because remember here, we're on the same team and we need him to be with us, yeah? We don't want to try and drive a wedge between us and say he's being salty. You have to make him think that we understand what he says is reasonable, and now we're adjusting what we're doing, and we're going to win because we're all going to work together. Very important to do that.
You guys suck and you don't lose.
Oh, shut up, man.
Kill the rat. Kill the rat, 1 HP.
I kill him.
Stop dying, back.
So you can see here the Agitator has cracked, right? He's saying that the whole team sucks and, quote, you're going to lose. Now that's a very important clue right there. If the Agitator was a native English speaker, I could, bank on this 100%. Since he's not, it could be a, misread, but whatever. Because he used the words, you're going to lose, he's disassociating himself with the team. And you can tell at that point, there's no coming back. He's like, you and me, we're different. You suck, I'm good. That's the dichotomy he's experiencing here. As soon as you lose that association, you lose the investment and you lose all leverage you have over a person to try and help them be a better player. So you can tell at that point, you've already lost this man, basically. There is still some stuff you can do to bring him back, especially if it's early game and he doesn't have all that pent-up rage from continually, interacting with you guys and whatever. But it is in dire straits at that moment.
He wants to win when he plays Mercy. Oh, I don't want to get memed.
And I told you, stop use ult to the fucking tank. Ult Genji, what's wrong with you?
If he was using his ult, seemed like a good time.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta go
We
on
should go
something.
high ground, guys. I'm
Yeah,
going
go high ground, go high ground.
Go on, just go point, fast.
He doesn't know to go high ground.
I got you.
I don't understand why you go
No, it's
high
talking about
ground.
a Reiner.
There's
He's not
no
a-
reason to go high ground, man.
You got this. You got this.
What's wrong with
He's
you
just,
guys?
he's just teammates just on me. Oh my. It's game over. Oh my god.
I don't understand why you guys go to fucking high ground. Is that meaningful? What the fuck?
Okay, this is an interesting note here. The video does go on for much longer, but this is probably my last comment on it. I think it's really important to note here that Doorknob has come back and started to say some other things as well. You notice in the video that from when she last spoke to when she is now speaking, there's been a significant amount of time. The reality is that people have a limited reserve of willpower. And Doorknob's experiencing this effect, which I experience so often when people grade you down just being resistant, You can see she was rebuting him before with the appropriate words, and now she's trying to rally the team, It's just important to note that you will also experience this as well. You're going to have a finite reserve of willpower to deal with people, and you're going to feel disheveled at the end of a game if you can't make progress with your skill, just in the same way as if you couldn't aim on McCree, even though you know you're like a Grandmaster player. So it's important to just recharge yourself sometimes. Maybe that means, playing a bit of Lucio Ball if it's summer games. Maybe it means you're taking 5 minutes to go grab a nice cold drink of water. Maybe go outside, whatever. Just try and recharge your brain a little bit. It's important to take care of yourself as much as it is important to take care of the rest of the team. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. One of the longer ones and probably controversial if any of you guys care specifically about these YouTubers. But I hope that you can see this for what it is. It's not judging these people, it's judging actions and using them as a tool to see what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Anyway, stay tuned for my other videos if you want to hear more. Otherwise, I'll be on my Discord server if you want to hit me with a message. Until the next one, have fun.